What's up, guys? Going to pick my son up from daycare, so I thought I'd make a quick little video on the old ST here. It's on the E50 tune right now, and I'm almost out of gas, so I thought I'd make a little review on the car while it's on its highest setting for tune only on the E50 setting before I have to switch it back. I typically only run like maybe one every 8 or 10 tanks of E50 for a couple reasons. One, I don't know the longevity of the effects of what happens when you just use E50 a lot, and two, I have to fill the car up every time because this is my wife's car, and it's just kind of a pain for me to fill the car up because I have to drive to a gas station that has E85, and it just kind of gets tough when you're doing that all the time. We literally drive this everywhere we go. It has my son's car seat in the back, so we literally take it everywhere we go. So it needs to be as easy to use as possible. The E50 is just, it's not available everywhere, and so I'm not comfortable using that, or filling it up and then you drive out of town with it, and it's the first gas station you don't have, you have to stop and sit there and do the tuner for a minute, which isn't a big deal. I think it takes like 5 or 10 minutes or something, so it doesn't take that long, but it's kind of not worth messing with it. But yeah, overall, love the car. I literally have zero complaints as of this moment. I mean, there's little rinky-dink stuff like the adaptive cruise control always cuts my speed down to the speed limit whenever you get into new speed limit zones, but that's safety stuff that I understand why that's in the car. It does drive itself, which is pretty sweet. So I understand I have to do that probably for legal reasons, just to have their back, as far as people not setting their cruise at 95 and letting it drive itself. And you can't override that, so it's not that big of a deal. But overall, first impressions are awesome. It's on the E50 tune, like I said. Go ahead and plug in this detector for all the Mexico cops out here. I'm gonna slow down and just do like a little roll on from 20. I don't like launching this car because I really don't know how beefed up Ford made this platform. Just with this E50 tune on it, it gained like 120 rear wheel horsepower, I think is what it was. I think they dynoed it like 320 or something from factory. And I think they make close to 500 on the E50 tune. And they can make over 500 with just the intercooler and a high pressure fuel pump, which is awesome. I'll make another video kind of a more in-depth review on this thing, but I only had like 10 minutes to make a video real quick, running to get my son. Like I said, overall the car is amazing. The brakes are great, the motor and the transmission are phenomenal. The 10 speeds that they have in all these cars now, I don't understand how you beat it. I have a C6 Z06 that's a manual car. Absolutely love driving it with it being a standard, but if it was a 10-speed, it'd be so much faster. They're just so hard to beat. I mean, they shift so fast, and especially with turbo cars, they're constantly in boost. So it feels like that you don't even feel the shift. I mean, I'll do see if I can do a little 20 roll real quick here. It's like very little turbo lag. I mean, the car just moves. And again, we're not talking crazy speed, right? Like, it is still an SUV, but for this thing being like 5,400 pounds, a 3-liter V6, twin turbo V6, I mean, this thing will drag Mustangs, SS's, 392s. I mean, I have a buddy that has an automatic Scat Pack Charger Challenger, and it wasn't even a competition. And I was just sitting here with my son and my wife right here next to me. So it's like overall, it's one of the most fun dailies I think you could get if you need a little family car. You need a little bit more space, but still want like more performance. There's a little Stingray right there. But yeah, if you want a little bit more performance, there's a ton of great third row SUVs, but I will say this, there's not very many that gets great gas mileage, because this does. It says 14 right now, but it's because it's been on the E50 tune and I've been romping on and I reset it every tank. It'll get over 24 miles a gallon if you're on the highway on a 91 or 93 tune. So the gas mileage is great. The power is phenomenal. The space in this car is amazing. I'll try to get a little view of it here. The space of this car is awesome. You can fit 4 grown adults right here, and there's 2 seats. And basically the way they have this car set up, which is really cool, it may not work for some people, but for us with a small family, it works great. And the turning radius in this car is awesome as well. But these seats here, which we have this one folded because we were carrying Christmas presents and stuff, but the seats are almost identical. The rear seats are almost identical to the front seats, just a little bit less like upholstering and stuff like that. But the side of the seat is really good, just kind of like this is. And so the seats are extremely comfortable. They recline, they move on a track system, so you have plenty of room here for your leg. I mean, this seat's all the way back and leaned back quite a bit. As you can tell, it's leaned back quite a bit, and there's tons of room. I'm 6'3", I can sit behind there and my knees don't even touch. So, and the seat's all the way back, I'm pretty sure. So it's awesome. The driving positioning is awesome. You sit nice and low in the car. Blind spots, there really aren't none, because even if you look behind you here, you have a huge window that you can basically see everything. Mirrors are great. You can see perfectly out the back there. Man, just overall, just an awesome car. The heated, cooled seats, massage seats as well, with a lot more different settings. My King Ranch has this, but does not have near as many customizable settings. Thought that was really cool. And, you know, just everything about this car. It's nice put together. Doesn't shake, doesn't rattle. Everything's like soft leather material. It's not hard plastic. You know, obviously you have plastic pieces, but it's not hard plastic. The only thing I wish they would have done differently is right here. Could have been a little bit better. You know, everything is on your screen, and I get that, but right here they could have done a little bit better. Even just continuing this trim here, you make it look a little bit nicer just from the front. But again, what you have to remember with this car that I keep on kind of forgetting is this car, fully loaded, brand new, I think it had 100 miles on it from just people test driving it, was $60,000. It was actually like 57 because they had a rebate going on. So $57,000 car, and you get the performance that is faster than an SRT Jeep, faster than a stock X5. You know, obviously whenever you get like into Audis and Uruses and stuff, that gets a little crazy, but look at the price point of those cars, right? So I just don't see, I mean, as far as like a Tahoe, even the 6.2 Tahoes are slugs compared to this thing. Doesn't get near the gas mileage. And this thing is bigger than a Trackhawk, or a SRT, I'm sorry. And you know, that's another thing. You can get a intercooler on this car with a, you know, $1,200 intercooler, $650 tune and engage, some exhaust work maybe, I don't know if you even need that, and a high pressure fuel pump, which is probably, say, all in about $4,000 on top of this. So say you're all in for about $62,000 for this vehicle to have those upgrades. It's faster than a Trackhawk is, and it still gets better gas mileage, and you have way more room, because that's a third row that flips up in the back too. Look how much space is back there. So there's really, I mean, just everything about this car. You can be in it for a lot cheaper. You know, obviously it doesn't sound the best. That's my biggest complaint probably about the car, is the sound. It does sound pretty throaty in sport mode, but the exhaust, you know, I'm not a fan of modified exhaust on V6 twin turbo cars, so I don't know what we're gonna do there. I was thinking a resonator delete, but it's a little cheap way to kind of experiment on what the car could sound like. And the exhaust tips are absolutely terrible on the car. But either way, just thought I'd do a quick little overview. You know, a few things that I'm going to change, but as far as from the factory, this car is amazing, and you can literally make the car 2 or 3 times better by paying $650 and getting it engaged with tunes on it. Completely changes the car, and I've seen 0 negative side effects with that. So I would definitely recommend it. I haven't even done revisions on the tunes, and I think they're great. most people won't know a difference. Now, if you're into getting like every ounce of performance possible, obviously you want to get a revision done and get the most possible horsepower for your area and things of that nature. But overall, phenomenal car. Love it. It's amazing for what you can get with the money nowadays in a vehicle that, you know, you can literally take across the country, take your whole family and all your luggage with, and get like over 20 miles a gallon, and then line up to a red light and outrun Mustangs, Camaros, anything, you know, that's not a very modified car. You got them beat. So I'll do a more in-depth review of kind of like the outside of the car, the brakes and everything like that, you know, kind of go way more in depth whenever I get some more time. But for now, I'm going to go in and get my son here, and we'll see you guys later.